welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Michelle and today I am doing an RV reno. I've done a few of these videos before and I will leave them down in the description box, but if you are completely new to my channel, welcome first of all, but let me give you like a little bit of a backstory about why I'm doing an RV reno and kind of just like what's going on in my life that even has me in an RV right now. So those of you who have followed me for a long time, well at least a year, know my story, but basically we have our family's land and we are going to be putting a house down and building a house, and we are starting from the ground up, and so it takes a long time. And since that, we decided to live in an RV temporarily, and we're doing what's called boondocking, if you've ever heard of that. But it's basically you use like someone else's septic, someone else's water, someone else's electricity, and run the RV off of that. And so we are on my family's land now. We're at my parents' land, and then across the street is where we're building our home. And so it's very exciting. We just actually like completed the mortgage and everything like that, and it is all on a roll, and we should be in the house in a few months, which is crazy. But it's been a year in the RV, living completely, fully in the RV. We do have a storage unit that has helped. It's been amazing. But when we got the RV that you see me in right now, it was used, but we got it from a dealer, and it was very dark and very gloomy. It was full of carpet, and so we just knew we wanted to make it more like open and airy and just bright and cheerful for us, because we were going to be living in it for so long. Now I do have a second channel with my husband that is more about homesteading and like simple living and gardening and stuff like that, and on that channel you can see the whole process of us like finally deciding to buy the RV and really gutting out and doing like the first initial RV reno stuff. On my channel I do more kind of like the decorating and decor stuff, but over there you can see us like ripping out the carpet and doing the first paint on the cabinets and stuff like that. So just like the very beginning stages of the RV reno. I can also link those videos down below, that way you can kind of see the whole process. Now you can kind of tell behind me like it is pretty much done. I just have final touches to do yet, and keep in mind we are selling the RV after we get our house, and so there are a lot of things you can do to an RV to completely fully flip it. Like I've seen people take out like the dining table and redo that. They take out the sofas. There's a lot of stuff, you know, that you can do. We wanted to keep it budget friendly, and we wanted to kind of do like a middle of the road reno, I would say. I'm going to take you around and kind of just give you a little overview of everything that I already did. Now if you have been watching my channel, if you know me, if you know everything about this RV already from just following along with my journey, you should probably just go ahead and skip ahead, and that way you can see what I'm doing today. And today my plan is to start working on the curtains. I only have one curtain up. They did like forever ago. You can kind of, well I guess you can't see it, but it's back there. And then I have one more thing to paint, minus touch-ups when we move. I am so relieved to get this one last thing painted. It's like the dresser in the bedroom, and we just didn't paint it. I don't really even know why. We just didn't get to it yet, and so I'm going to do that probably today and tomorrow. Honestly, I'm going to be working on doing a little bit more in here. So before I get into a little tour and show you around, be sure to subscribe and join our family and our community here on YouTube. Also be sure to hit that like button, and if you enjoy this content or you enjoy any of my videos, you can always share them out to people. That way our community can reach more people, and spreading happy positive vibes to more people is always a good thing. So here is the front door when you come into the RV. We wanted to create kind of like a mudroom kind of style area, because we do have one dog and 3 cats, and so we are an animal loving family. So we knew we needed a place to take our boots off and stuff. We do live in the country, so you know we're going to bring in a lot of mud and that kind of stuff, which is why we also knew that the carpet wouldn't work, and so we replaced that right away. But this is also nice because I got this like baby gate from, I think it was TJ Maxx, and it just folds up accordion style, so we can then close it, and when my dog Dixie comes in we can wipe off her paws and stuff and keep her in there. But we just like attached it right here, that way it stays upright, it doesn't move, and you can just open and close that really easily. We also put this shelf in, and that's where we put our boots and stuff like that, like just a couple shoes that we use all the time. And then just kind of like an entry way area where we can kind of put like, you know, umbrellas and bug spray and like sunblock and all the things you want to grab right when you go. Our keys, shopping bag. And then I used to have these in our old place that had produce, like fruit and stuff. But now it's kind of like another entryway thing. So we have a basket for each of us. And then this is more like our mail basket here. So like I said, we pulled out the carpet and we put these sticky like panels. They were pretty cheap, honestly. I want to say doing this whole area was maybe $100 or so. And it is well worth it because the carpet would have been terrible for just like tracking in dirt and everything. This is much, much better. Then we painted the bottom cabinets. It was supposed to be a darker blue than this. It turned out way lighter than I thought, but I actually really, really like it. Now before, this was all dark. The walls were dark. There was wallpaper, like a strip. If you've seen, I mean, the typical RV, you know, that's what it looked like. And I will try to find a photo and insert some photos for you. But we just knew it. We wanted it to be bright and airy, and especially because we're living in here, you know, you want the lighter colors to make it feel more open. You don't want to feel like you're closed into this dark like den. So I'm really happy with how, you know, all the white and like even the light colored bottoms of the cabinets did turn out. And I will say this RV has a decent bit of counter space, especially for not being a super modern one. I think it's a 2008 RV. Like the more modern ones now definitely have a lot of more kitchen area, but for 2008 that's pretty good. So we even painted this fabric here that goes onto the slide out, and I just painted right over that. I know I get asked questions about the paint, so basically for the cabinets and everything I just did white. I think satin white. This was a mix. I don't remember. I can look it up and put it below, or an about color, because I got it at my local hardware store and they mixed it for me. But we also did the handles. We took all the hardware off. We spray painted these, but you can see that it is actually starting to wear. So I don't know if it was worth it to do that or not, or maybe we should put a sealer on it. But I did want them to be a darker look. And it did look really good for a while, but like I said, it's kind of wearing off. Even our fridge had like a brown wood on it, so we painted that white, and the freezer top white. And if you guys want to do this too, I should explain this a little bit. So when you're painting an RV, you need to make sure you're using the right paint. Now for the cabinets, it doesn't matter quite as much. I just use a paint and primer. At least from my experience and what I researched, for the vinyl walls, you need to use an oil-based primer because it has to like seep into the vinyl or something like that. I don't really quite understand it, but I know that if you didn't, it would tend to peel off or bubble or something. The oil has to be able to seep in and kind of bind everything together and not just lay on top. And so make sure to get an oil-based primer for your walls of your RV. Then I put on a regular, I think it was again satin finish white. The same one that I used for the cabinets is what I used for the finishing the walls as well. Technically sand everything. What I did was I got a liquid sander. It's so much easier. You just spray it on and wipe it down, and it's like sandpaper but in a bottle. Now the countertops are the exact same from when we got it, so it's like the fixtures and everything like that. We did not change any of that. So if you come into the other part of the RV, you have the bathroom area here. You have our shower right here. And then since we are stationary, we're not going anywhere, there is another door right there, but I decided that, you know, we're not going in and out of that. So instead I needed the space, and so I put these two organizers in here just because it made more sense for us. So I have that one on the bottom, I stacked that one on top, and these totes have clothing and just odds and ends and stuff like that in here. And then this is the cabinet that I need, or not the cabinet, but that's the dresser that I was telling you guys about that I needed to paint yet. This is a very nice ledge and shelf that you could probably do a lot with, but our cats basically run our house. So this is the cat zone, their food and their bed. Up here I put in two little tension rods that hold a basket. That's a really good like space saving hack if you need more space or more levels. Just use a tension rod. You can't hold a lot of weight, but it works for what we need it to do. And then in here my husband built that second shelf just out of a piece of wood, so that way we can put stuff up high and down low to save on some space. When we painted this room, I did decide that I did not want to paint that. I just thought it was so pretty with the wood and like how it swirls like that over the mirror. I just didn't want to get rid of it, so we left that be. But we did paint pretty much everything else. We did that fabric again on the slide out, and I just tried to brighten it up with some plants and things like that in here. Also, we made these little tiny shelves. We just did this out of some rope and a little piece of wood, and you just put holes in them, tie the rope in there, and then secure it with 2 screws, and it makes a really easy DIY little shelf. I think instead of painting today, I think I'm going to paint tomorrow, but what I am going to do today is work on these curtain rods. So this is the one I did a while ago, but it's the only one that I have finished. So these curtain rods are actually so easy to make. I got these bamboo sticks that are actually meant for garden stakes on Amazon, and I can link them below. But then you just get hooks that you drill into the wall, and then I bought these, oh, that's a spider. Ooh. Then I bought these clips from Amazon that go on the bamboo stick and just clip any piece of fabric. You can go to the thrift store and get any type of fabric that would fit. RV windows are all weird sizes, and so I chose to just get fabric, and I sewed this one to hem it. All you do is hem, you know, all the sides, and it's just a square piece of hem fabric because of the clips. My sewing machine is acting a little weird, and so instead of fighting with it today, I just wanted to get this done, and so I decided to just do the iron-on hem like bonding instead of sewing it. So that's what I'm going to do today. That's the plan. But this is such an easy DIY curtain. It's a low cost. It's budget friendly. I did not spend a lot on this at all, and it just works perfect for an RV. I mean, you could do this for a house too, but I've really enjoyed it for the RV. Alright, so these are the dowel rods that I got. I got them, like I said, on Amazon, but it was a big pack of them. So now I'm going to measure the top portion of the window, and where is my saw? There it is. I'm going to saw the bamboo stick to size. I was sawing that, I realized I do have one of these guys that I could take outside and saw it with. So after I used the hand saw, I remembered I have one of these guys. I could definitely take it outside and do it. I want to say I don't remember though how to like put in the saw and everything. I'd have to have my husband come home and show me. So we'll see how many I get done. If he gets home, then maybe I can have him do this part, because doing with the hand saw does take some time. But I'm just going to keep going and see if I can get them all done without having to use this. Either way, if you're doing this, either one of these would work. You just need like a really fine blade. You can't do something big. Also, what I wanted to do was have 2 inches on either side to give it more room for the hooks. And so I'm hoping, yeah, that should be good. Because you don't want it the exact same width as the window. You need those hooks to be a little farther out. So that looks pretty good. Alright, so I just installed this one. And I realized because we have this for our cats, like I said, our cats run this house. I won't be able to put the curtain on this one until, you know, we take this down probably when we move, but at least it's still installed. And so here's the hardware I can show you. These are the clips up close that I got from Amazon, and then these are the hook screws that I got, I think, from Walmart. And I've just been doing this by hand unless I feel resistance, and then I'll drill into it. But the one I just did, I just, you know, twisted it with my hand and no tools, and it went right in. And then the bamboo stick just rests right in there. And then what I have to do after you know, I have the curtain on and the clips, I get a little twine and I just put it around there, because if not, this would slide around. Because normally, you know, like with curtains, you have an end stop thing. So the twine, I think, looks natural and goes with the vibe of the bamboo, and then it helps it not move when you move your curtain back and forth. Good morning, everybody. So it's another day today. It's actually a few days after the last time I chatted with you and showed you everything I was doing. And today we're going to continue. We're going to continue doing some curtains and then painting that dresser that I showed you. I actually rearranged a few things since the last time that I was vlogging. It was only, like I said, a few days ago, but still, I rearranged a few things. So let me flip you and show you kind of like the kitchen, what I did. So basically I moved the chair that was there, I put it on the end, and then of course if we want to sit across from each other and eat, we can just move it. But for the sake of getting back here, because I made a little coffee cart situation to get it off the counter, this is our espresso machine, that way it's just off the counter and it's kind of cute back there in a little, you know, nook area. And then the reason for all this is because we got the Instant Omni Plus. It's like a mega air fryer slash convection oven. We've been having fun playing around with this, but basically I got, because, well, two reasons. One, the oven in the RVs, if you are familiar with RVs, it's terrible. I wish I would have gotten this a year ago when we moved into the RV. And I've seen a lot of people who actually remove this and they remove the whole, you know, the whole oven and everything, and they place it into like the empty spot. Now, since we're selling this, you know, we don't want to do that. We're leaving the oven there. But if you have an RV and you are actually using oven in it, I know a lot of people, like, you just have an RV to camp and then you're not really cooking a lot. But if you are, that is something I saw people do. Now, the other reason why I wanted this is because I always wanted two ovens, and the house that we are getting has a big island on it, so I can sacrifice the counter space for this to have technically like two ovens, a mini oven obviously, but still. And then I still have my island. This also takes place of a toaster, so we don't need a toaster anymore. Anyway, I had to make room for that and stick it in here, and the espresso machine used to be there, so now I moved it right there, and that's kind of like our setup for that, and that's what's changed. I think that's pretty much it. Now in the bedroom, we're looking a little messy because I pulled out a bunch of the stuff in my dresser, just like the stuff that was really high that I didn't want to get paint on it. So I took off the hardware too, and I'm not spray painting these just because I feel like it didn't hold up for the other ones. And you know, if you want to spray paint them though, if you want a darker look, I would just seal it. I think that was our downfall. Camera battery. I would just seal it because our hands were rubbing it off. But for in here, I'm just going to leave it as is. Hey, bud. Oop, okay. And then I have two trash bags cut open and laid out there ready to paint that. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to cut the curtain area for this. Like I said, I can't put it up. I did put the rods in though, but I can't put the curtain up because of all the cast stuff. Or I guess I could and just have it here to the side, but I don't know. I'm worried that they would just get it all messy and they're white. So I think I'm just going to wait on it until we are about to sell this and then put it up. And then this one I'm going to put up today too. I just have to hem it and then put that up there. Oh, I forgot my lights. Turn them on. I do have lights over here on this plant, but they just need new batteries. They're pretty low. Now in here, I thrifted this beautiful lace. It was just a lace curtain, much longer than that, and I think it was like $2 for the set at a local thrift store. So then I hemmed the top, and that way we can have a little different type of curtain right there, like that. Okay, then these ones are just white cotton. What is wrong? You want to go outside? You know it's raining out there. You know it's raining out there. Okay. There you go. So I was going to paint this little dresser area, that like pretty bluish gray that's in the kitchen, but I don't have enough paint, so I am just pulling out the white paint and primer that I use for pretty much everything else. And because it's a primer, I'm not going to pull out the oil-based primer that I have. I'm just going to do a few coats of this on here. And then I have this tray here for the big areas. And in my bag, I have this to put right up against like that. That really helps with getting the edges. Put some gloves on. And I need a wet cloth that helps with like some mistakes. I gotta mix the paint. Here's my roller. Put that there. And then painter's tape if I need it. I don't actually know that I will, because that's white too. And I already painted back there. So yeah, I don't think I'll need this today, but just in case. An extra roller is in here. A brush for small areas. And then I just got a foam brush just in case, because sometimes these are really good to get in like tiny little, you know, areas that the brush can't do. My cat is keeping me company, and I'm going to put on a Hallmark movie. I always get the Hallmark movie app. I do the trial, and then like around now I do a trial, so it's like $5.99 a month. And then I pay for 1 month, and that gets me through Christmas. It's the best $6 I've ever spent every holiday season, because look at all the goodies you get. I mean, you can't beat Hallmark Christmas movies around this time. Dixie's very upset about something back there. I don't know what. Why are you whining? What's wrong? What's wrong? Am I not giving you enough attention? Yeah. I'm sorry. I have to paint. So keep in touch between the 600